guidelines or whatever. And I think you're beginning to see why we come back every year, because every year it's something different, and the creativity and the lies. Was that belly high or I'm sorry, the naval base. Anyhow, sorry. Our next storyteller is Donna Ingham. She has won this contest several times. She is an incredible storyteller, a recovering English teacher. The kids had no effect on her whatsoever. Her story today is Bigger Enough. Donna Ingham.
You know, like a lot of men in Texas, our boy C.Y. married well above himself. His sweet young thing of a wife, Stephanie Michelle, she's a pistol. She's a cutter. She's, well, you just got to meet her to know that she is something else. There is not anything that this girl would not try and succeed at. She has jumped out of a perfectly good airplane. She's raced on rollerblades. She's brewed beer in a bucket. She's bagged a buck, field dressed it, and cooked the backstrap into the finest gourmet meal, the likes of which Hudson's on the Bend could only envy. But lest you think that she's just an outdoorsy type, let me hasten to tell you that she's quite the little homemaker and a decorator. And that's the part that has C.Y. a little confused. For example, she came home from a shopping spree here a while back with some real pretty dinner plates. Had cowboys in the middle of them, had little ropey designs around the outside. Sweet, C.Y. said. Oh, my steak and baked potatoes gonna look real good on one of those. Oh, no, she said. These are not for eating off of. These are for putting on that little shelf over the buffet. They're dining room art. Uh-huh, C.Y. said. Dining room art. Well, then she brings home this great big sack full of those lush, plush bath towels in a variety of lovely colors. Awesome, C.Y. said. I'm going to like stepping out of a hot shower, wrapping up in one of those. Oh, no, she said. These are not for drying off with. They're for folding all nice and pretty and hanging over the towel rack when we have company just for looks. They're bathroom art. Uh-huh, C.Y. said. Bathroom art. Well, and so it went throughout the whole house. There was art in every room. Well, now I need to tell you here that she's a little bitty thing, Stephanie Michelle is. I mean, she is tiny. Well, she's so tiny. I was waiting for you, Sheila. You're supposed to say. Now you come. I'm so glad you asked. I mean, she's not bigger than a minute. She's not bigger than a cooked pea. She's not bigger than a cake of soap after a hard day's washing. Wouldn't weigh 90 pounds, dripping wet. Wouldn't come up to here on a stink bug. And thin as Bible paper. I mean, she looks as if she might have been picked before she got quite ripe, if you know what I mean. So that's why we were kind of surprised when she went out and bought herself a Hummer. That's right, a Hummer, and I am not talking about one of those little bitty birds that can flap its wings about 90 times a second. No. No, I am talking about one of those big old honking Humvee SUVs that looks like a Jeep on steroids. Now, I need you to work with me here. I need for you... Well, first of all, I need to tell you how big they are.
How big are they?
Thank you, Sheila. Well, they are certainly bigger than a bread box, and bigger than a bale of cotton, and bigger than a boxcar, and bigger than a banker's barn. That's how big they are. So now I need for you to work with me. I need for you to visualize, if you will, this scene. This little wisp of a woman walking onto the car lot, passing by those cute little smart cars and the Minis and the Coopers and the Priuses and even the Lexi, and summoning a salesman over and saying, "I want that one," and pointing to a Hummer. And I mean the Arnold Schwarzenegger model. Well, the salesman is probably thinking she's not quite firing on all cylinders, if you get my meaning here. But a sale is a sale. So she climbs into this monster, realizing that it is bigger on the inside than a lot of apartments she's lived in, and heads out into the traffic, having to navigate by looking under the steering wheel. Well, cars begin to part before her, just like the waters of the Red Sea, when the drivers look in the rearview mirror and see her coming. Military personnel lined along the route snap to attention and salute as she goes by. She stops for a cup of coffee at McDonald's, and the drive-through is considerably wider when she leaves than when she enters. She stops at a traffic light, and total, complete strangers appear out of nowhere and invite her to go hunting. And when she stops to buy gas, well, that's when she realizes that when you figure the fuel efficiency of a Hummer, you're not calculating miles per gallon, you're calculating gallons per mile. And when she finally gets home, she looks at that two-car garage and figures it's probably a one-car garage now. But I'm telling you, when CY looks up and sees her pulling into that driveway in that Hummer, that boy thinks maybe he has done died and gone to heaven. And he comes running out, "Oh, baby, we are going to look so fine driving around the neighborhood in that." "Oh, no," she said. "This is not for driving. I'm going to park it in the middle of the circle drive there. It's going to be yard art."